Would I rather buy Toshi or PEPE? I would rather buy Toshi, even though that's not financial advice. That's just my pick for me as of right now, because the way I take a look at it is that Toshi, it's on the rise. It has a big narrative, and even though it doesn't have the fans or the, sort of attention that something like PEPE has, I do believe that naturally, because it is at a much lower point, hypothetically, the room for growth is much better. And I think that when it comes to the niche that Toshi is in, which I'm going to get a little bit later on into the video as to what I mean by that, I do believe that this could very well be something that could greatly outperform PEPE in terms of percentage increase in the next 6 to 10 months. And here's my rationale. Toshi going to the price of 2 cents during this bull run, that is my price target. And if it were to go to that price, that would be around a 22x from here. Now, keep in mind, though, this isn't that crazy, because if, let's say, it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $8 billion. So when you take into consideration how Dogecoin at one point reached over 80 billion, Shiba Inu reached around 40 billion. This was back in 2021, by the way, in terms of market cap, dollars, of course, right? I just don't see why this would be too crazy, again, for something like Toshi. Now, on the flip side, could PEPE do a 22x from here? Nah, I don't think so. In the next 6 to 10 months, yeah, no. I'm not talking about 10, 15 years later. I'm not saying that, right? All I'm talking about is, let's say, during this bull run. PEPE has done very well, keep in mind, but it can't do this, in my opinion, because if it were to do a 22x from here, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be over $90 billion. Again, that's not possible. I think PEPE could do good, during this bull run. It can't do that, though, right? This is just all speculative, though. However, this is just my perspective. Now, when I take a look at Toshi, the way I take a look at it is this. What would have an easier time doing over 20x from where they are as of right now in the next 6 to 10 months? I think logically speaking, it's going to be Toshi. Now, emotionally speaking, maybe some people might choose PEPE, but again, I think Toshi is just much better in terms of hypothetical percentage increase in the next 6 to 10 months. Now, keep in mind as well, when it comes to the passion of Toshi, I think it's a lot more dynamic as well when compared to PEPE in terms of the community. Now, again, PEPE has a bigger community. I totally understand that. But then I think the passion is really there when it comes to Toshi. It's like this, for instance. There's people who like eating at Denny's, and there's also people who like eating at Sizzler, much like myself. Now, I feel like a lot of my friends who eat at Denny's, they're not really passionate about it. Even though Denny's has a lot of locations, we all know it's very popular. But then my friends who eat at Sizzler, they're very passionate. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Toshi. Toshi is like Sizzler. PEPE is like Denny's. Nothing wrong with Denny's. It's actually very good. I ate that a lot back in college, but I wouldn't eat that really that much nowadays because, of course, Sizzler, I think, is much better for me. But even besides that, Toshi has that passion. It has that kind of like feel of a mom and pop store. You know what I mean? When I buy something from a mom and pop store, like let's say at a stand or something like that, or let's say like at a market fair or whatever, you just kind of feel the passion of the person who owns it. You know what I mean? Different than like going to a department store. Let's say I go to Best Buy, I buy something. Is anyone really going to care? No. So the way to take a look at it is that PEPE is like a Best Buy. Toshi is like something I buy at a farmer's market or whatever. But even besides that, when I take a look at Toshi, why could this be a big narrative? Because after all, it is a meme coin on the base network. We all know that the base network is a very amazing layer 2. Now, it's not just some random layer 2 because it is Coinbase's layer 2. And yes, you heard that right. I'm talking about Coinbase, which is massive. And this is actually built in collaboration with Optimism, which is one of the leading Ethereum layer 2s out there. But here's where things get a little bit more cooking because, again, Toshi is on the base network, which is Coinbase's layer 2 network. But then it's kind of like a full circle type of moment because Toshi is named after the co-founder of Coinbase's pet cat. So you get the association here now, right? I'm talking about Brian Armstrong's pet cat named Toshi. So this is very amazing in my opinion. When I take a look at something like Toshi, not to mention it's even listed on Coinbase. I mean, can you imagine that? This is like so amazing, really. However, sometimes people don't really consider this because they take a look at the price pullback. But really, when I first started talking about Toshi, no one really believed in it that much, right? Of course, there was still a very strong community back then. But then, when I consider the original point, when I first started acquiring Toshi, it's actually a lot better, even despite the pullback. But even despite that, I think this is very temporary. Imagine as, April, May, June, July comes along. It could be a totally different story. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to be 100% correct, but I'm only speculating after all, but when you have over 600 million crypto owners, I highly doubt that this burn is going to be bad, really. I mean, that's more than ever before in history, according to Crypto.com research. Again, in terms of crypto owners, yeah, it's not going to be a bad bull run, in my opinion. Now, it's just a waiting game, really, but if I was going to wait anyways, right, why would I wait on, let's say PEPE instead of Toshi if I could only choose one? Let's say someone was like, hey, you can only put all your eggs into one basket, Toshi or PEPE. It's going to have to be Toshi as of right now. I think Coinbase is on the rise. And not to mention, when you take a look at the function, or should I say the use case of a layer 2, much like, the base network, what it does is that it allows Ethereum to be enjoyed without having to deal with the sky-high gas fees and scalability issues. So when you think about it, of course, there is a bunch of layer 2s out there. I'm not saying that the base network is going to defeat like Polygon or like, Arbitrum or something like that in terms of adoption. I'm not saying that. But then in terms of the perceived, good backing in a sense, because it is Coinbase's layer 2, I just think this could be something special here. And of course, as the base network does go up, I think hypothetically, something like Toshi is going to go along with the ride. Again, reaching the price of 2 cents during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. As of right now, I'm going to still be accumulating anytime an income, acquire, hold, and I just wait because I just don't think it's a bad meme coin. I think it's a much better pick for me as of right now as opposed to PEPE, and it is the winner here for me. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace. Bye.